This is a massive resort. We're talking 72 acres, a 5-star hotel, but there's a catch. From giant Caribbean pools to some confusing restaurant rules, here are 10 things you need to know about the Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve in Puerto Rico. Right off the bat is that the main lagoon-style pool completely steals the show. I mean, if you're paying for a 5-star resort, you want a pool that matches that energy, and this one delivers. Right past the open-air lobby is a huge pool. And when I say huge, I mean giant, ginormous. Look at this lagoon-style pool, which is apparently resort speak for we built a small ocean and put a bar by it. Rumor has it that it's actually the second largest pool in the entire Caribbean by gallons, which is such an oddly specific claim that I'm inclined to believe it. There's a swim-up bar and lots of lounge chairs, especially the kind that are built right into the water itself. The thing to know here is that there isn't a ton of natural shade though. But on a hot tropical day, there's no better place to be than in this water. Plus, it never felt too crowded during my visit. I was fully prepared to have to elbow someone for a lounge chair, but luckily that was not the case. Which, let's be honest, is not something I get to say very often in these videos. It's actually so stunningly gorgeous, they filmed the remake of Fantasy Island right here. Even though the resort itself is massive, the actual beach is pretty small and pretty average, honestly. But there's a silver lining. If you walk a little bit further down the path by the ocean, you'll find these hidden hammocks. The vibe here is immaculate. But there's a catch. Anytime you go near the ocean, you need to watch out for bugs. These tiny gnats are out in full force to the point where the hotel actually leaves little packets of bug spray in your room. There's some incredible sea life off the beach though. Stingrays and turtles. One night, I even saw a flock of pelicans just gliding across the sunset like a painting. I don't like birds like that. That's too many in one place. They could take down a human for sure. With a massive 72 acres of tropical paradise, the hotel is nestled right between the Yunque National Forest and the Atlantic Ocean. You walk into this breathtaking, super aesthetic lobby that honestly does a lot of the heavy lifting for the resort's overall vibe. Now, because it's so spread out, the reality of navigating this massive resort footprint can be a bit challenging. But when you first arrive, the check-in process is a total dream. Your luggage is loaded onto a golf cart and you're whisked away right to your hotel door. This feels like a true 5-star experience. But here's the catch. After that initial drop-off, the golf carts pretty much vanish into thin air. While they definitely still exist, they aren't just bopping around waiting to pick you up all week. So if you don't want to walk, you'll likely need to call the front desk to request one, which isn't always the most convenient thing to do. All of the restaurants are open really random hours here, and then they're just closed certain days of the week. And it's so complicated that when you check in, they give you a printed sheet of the restaurant hours for your specific week. Because those schedules are so random, it's easy to miss this restaurant called Nectar, which serves local Puerto Rican food. It wasn't open very often during my stay, but I managed to catch it for lunch one day, and this bowl I had was incredible. There are two main dinner restaurants here, and they're located right next to each other, as in, they share a single host stand. First is Prime 787. It's a steakhouse with a really old school vibe. It's dimly lit and expensive. I mean, I guess if you're not going to have ocean views, why see anything at all? The service is excellent, the food is fantastic, especially the dessert here, which is called a brookie, but is really more like a chocolate lava cake on top of a cookie. Whatever it is, I am a big fan. Definitely get this. Right next door is Nori, an Asian grill that has hibachi style tables and regular tables. This place really puts the grand in Grand Reserve. I can't believe I just said that. That was cheesy. Both of these spots are definitely on the pricey side, but they completely exceeded my expectations. Make sure you book your reservations ahead of time. If you're looking to party after those delicious dinners, you need to know that there's not honestly much going on here after dark. If you want a loud, hopping nightlife scene, you're definitely going to have to leave the resort. The evening atmosphere on property feels very much like a corporate work function. The hotel hosts a lot of corporate retreats and business trips, so the nighttime crowd is very professional. They do attempt to schedule some livelier activities during the day, but sometimes they end up being ghost activities. Like there was supposed to be a pool volleyball game. It was listed on the big activity board one morning, but it never actually materialized. But that just leaves you more time for breakfast. I'm heading to the Water's Edge, which is the breakfast buffet restaurant here, and you know I'm a sucker for a breakfast buffet. The food itself is a pretty standard resort breakfast, but it has two major things going for it. First, the pricing is actually a little lower than I expected. Second, you need to know that it's a self-serve type of place, so there are no servers for the tables. And while that does mean no one is bringing out everyone's drinks, it also means you get unlimited, unrestricted access to the self-serve espresso machines. You can happily make yourself all the cappuccinos your heart desires with zero wait time, which is basically my ultimate vacation dream. A clever thing the resort does to maximize space is retheming the breakfast buffet into a different restaurant at night. And they even have you enter through a completely different door. Like, breakfast? Never heard of her. Let's talk about where you're sleeping. If you end up booking the villas like I did for my week here, I know, fancy. You need to know exactly what you're getting into. You will not believe what this villa looks like. Let me show you. On the plus side, they're massive. You get a separate living room, a bedroom, and a kitchenette with a microwave like it's the 90s. And the storage situation is wild. I've never seen so much storage space in a hotel room in my entire life. There's a wardrobe by the shower, a giant closet that randomly houses the bathtub, a mudroom area by the front door. You could literally move in here. My villa was on the second floor, and even though there are elevators, they were so far away from me that I ended up using the stairs the entire time. And you should know the villas are right next door to the vacation club side of the property. and honestly feel a little bit like converted timeshare units to me. And while I was stoked to have that kitchenette, just a heads up, the cabinets were completely empty, as in no plates, no glasses, nothing. So you'll want to pack a few things. But the housekeeping here is phenomenal. They took the extra step to call my room to see if I needed fresh towels. This was a 5-star housekeeping experience for me. The biggest thing to keep in mind though is the distance. The villas are really far away from the main resort area. We're talking down the stairs, across a parking lot, down a long hallway, and all the way across the resort just to get to dinner. I got my steps in this week, people. I might have to start dropping breadcrumbs to make a trail just to find my way back to the room. But being that secluded isn't always a bad thing, because it gives you access to the best perk of staying in the villas, the pool. This pool felt like it was there just for me. As in, most of the time, I was the only person there. It's surrounded by cabanas and luxury loungers. It is private and secluded and all around a top-tier experience here at the villa pool. But all that walking can make a girl hungry. Now, you could also choose to stop by the Quick Bites / market / coffee shop. There's one open 24 hours a day right off the main lobby. But there's a second secret location hidden over by the vacation club parking lot that isn't open all night, but it does have pizzas for lunch. I'm so excited to see this spa. I'm kind of a harsh critic on spas though, so hopefully they bring their A game. Well, I'm not sure where it gets its name from because it's in the middle of the hotel, not in the forest. And despite the huge scale of the rest of the resort, the spa is surprisingly tiny. Literally the smallest spa I've ever seen at a hotel this size. So amenities are a tight fit and they're tough to fully enjoy. But the saving grace is the actual treatment. That massage was so good. I'm a different person than before I went in there. My massage was top tier. Just probably don't plan on making a whole day out of lounging at the spa. The location of the resort itself feels secluded while you're here, but it's actually incredibly close to El Yunque and only about 30 to 45 minutes outside of San Juan. Overall, this resort is an absolutely fantastic home base for your Puerto Rico vacation, but it's not really the kind of destination resort where I could stay here for a long time and never leave and never get bored. I'd be building in some fun day trips. I have tons of videos just like this on all kinds of luxury resorts and activities, so be sure to check those out.